people at DirectPay. My name is Carol Vickers, and together with Liz Christofferson, we at Empower Consulting have had the privilege of hosting these webinars for the past couple of years. It has been an honor to meet the amazing presenters and participate in some pretty lively discussions and some great learning. DirectPay is committed to the success of small business entrepreneurs just like yourselves. Through their great customer service team, you can learn more about how to increase your business's growth and sales. You can contact them directly for information not only on credit card acceptance and online shopping carts, but mobile payments too. DirectPay's Business Mastery Series is designed to provide you with learning and education opportunities for the business development of your organization. These opportunities to learn from some of the top minds in business today are incredibly worthwhile. If you want to be in touch with DirectPay, you can reach them on their website, which is directpayinc.com. That's directpayinc.com. And you can speak to a real person, and they are very, very happy to be there to help you with your business. Well, today is no exception to our wonderful series. Nancy Juetten is a frequent contributor to this Business Mastery series. She has been on twice already and is always a highly requested speaker. The members value her all the help, none of the hype approach and have asked her for her latest insights, and that is why we are very happy to welcome her back today. Just a bit of housekeeping so that you are aware. We will be taking some questions at the end of the presentation today. If you have questions, please just put them into the question box or chat box, and I will make sure that Nancy has an opportunity to ask you. If there's any difficulties with the presentation, again, just put the questions in, and I will do all the troubleshooting that I can in the background. So let me introduce you to Nancy, since you may not know of her. Since 2008, she's the business bio expert and known to get paid mentor. Nancy has earned top 5 and top 10 leaderboard rankings for luminaries in the coaching world, which include Callan Rush, Christian Michelson, Brandy Michaels, Vinca Hart, and more. Her opt-in mailing list has grown from 1,186 to just shy of 14,000 during that time. Phenomenal growth. Her income has escalated dramatically as well. I know in Nancy's authentic way, she'll speak her truth about how she did it. Most importantly, she'll inspire you to get known and paid for creating rewarding and right-fit relationships that can lend fuel to your success for a lifetime without sacrificing your heart and soul in the process. I've had the great gift of spending a little time with Nancy as we set up this webinar today, and I can tell you she is inspiring and wonderful to talk to. Nancy, we welcome you today and look forward to you sharing your brilliance with us.
Well, thank you, Carol. It's wonderful to be here, and thank you to everyone at DirectPay and everyone who's listening from all points around the world to find out about how to make joint ventures pay off for you sooner versus later, even if you're just getting started. I'm so happy to be here. Shall we just carry on with the program?
Let's get going.
All right. What we're here to talk about today is the 3 blunders even smart entrepreneurs make with joint ventures that keep them stuck at the starting gate, and most importantly, how you can get beyond them. I know when I first heard about joint ventures, I'm just trying to advance my slides here. Oh dear. Carol, how do I advance my slides?
Oh, you should be able to do it just the same way you normally would.
Oh, there we go. All right, everybody. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So when I first got present to this whole idea of joint ventures, the first time I heard someone say it to me, it sounded like Greek to me. It was like a whole new language I didn't understand. And why was that? Because at the time I was running a successful boutique public relations agency where I was standing behind the curtain, waving my arms and legs about, trying to make other people look big and important in the media. And I was pretty invisible to other folks. But right around that time, I thought to myself, if I'm so good at helping people look big in the media, what would happen if I took my own advice and got known and paid for my own expert status? But I had this horribly humbling moment. And maybe you've had the same kind of moment in your life where you type in your name in a Google search box and you want to know what comes up in the search. And here I have all these very famous clients like Roger Staubach and Fran Bigelow and Vern Yip and people of this ilk, celebrity people where you Google their name and you immediately know who they are. And I have this moment where I Google my name and I have a very humbling gut check moment because the only thing that came up was that I ran 10K races really slowly. I really wasn't known for my expertise. I was pretty invisible as an expert guiding people to get known and get paid, and so it was a very humbling moment. So I thought to myself, well, I can either be satisfied with this disappointing search results, or I can apply my own get known to get paid advice to get known and get paid for my own winning ways. And over a period of time, that's exactly what I did. So today, if you were to Google not even my name, but you type in business bio expert or get known to get paid expert or get known to get paid mentor, you'll find that my name comes up first in the search. I am a sought-after joint venture partner among some of the biggest players in the coaching world, and I'm well known for my business bio expertise. I'm frequently at the top of leaderboards for some of the biggest launches on the planet. I'm an expert to the media. I've welcomed business success in terms of creating a six-figure income with multiple streams of revenue that I enjoy from my own home office, oftentimes while wearing yoga pants and enjoying my puppy at my feet. And what I think I'm the most proud of is that I've done it with authenticity and spirit in my own best way without selling my soul in the process. I'm happy at home as well. I'm happily married to my husband, Steve, and my son is named Kyle, and he'll be 17 in May, and you'll see my adorable little dog, Champ, right there in the photo. So isn't it wonderful to create success on your own terms and to do it in your own best way without doing anything that feels the least bit uncomfortable or inappropriate or off-brand? That's exactly how I've done it. Getting known and getting paid, how powerful to show you the power of proof. I was away at a training event in January learning important lessons to help me advance my skills, and when I came home, there were 5 checks in the mail totaling over $20,000. All rewards from powerful partners who were thanking me for being such a powerful advocate to referring perfect people to enroll in their programs so that they could advance their success and profit. And so if I can get known and get paid and welcome this kind of impact in a 1-month window, what's possible for you? If I can do it, you can too. What does it take? It takes heart, brains, courage, maybe a sassy pair of shoes, and most importantly, it requires that you keep your eye on the prize and be focused on what it is you really want to accomplish, because you can make it so if you do the work. So what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to share with you the 3 biggest joint venture blunders to avoid. I'm going to share some ninja tips from the trenches to rock your results like a professional, even if you're just starting out. And I'm going to give you access to 2 powerful gifts that will guide you to get known and paid with some of these proven methods as your new best friends, including the specifics around what not to do. So let's get started. What is a joint venture? Let's define it. A joint venture is a strategic alliance through which all of the parties welcome leverage to distribute their marketing messages to more of the right people to their mutual benefit. Typically, they collaborate to share leads, rewards for referred sales, or perhaps co-create a bundle that would be of even deeper service to their ideal clients. The win-win-win is the big thing to take away. Everyone has to win, both partners and the collective audience that they serve. So what might some examples be? Well, a collaborative divorce attorney and a joy after divorce mentor could be great joint venture partners, because a collaborative divorce attorney just wants to help a couple happily divorce, but he may not want to deal with the emotional collateral damage of what's happening on an emotional scale for the woman who's dealing with that divorce. So having a joy after divorce mentor on speed dial for the collaborative divorce attorneys around the country could be a real win-win-win. Another example might be a weight loss coach and a fitness coach, because people who are trying to lose weight logically may also want to get in shape. So a fitness coach and a weight loss coach could share leads among and between each other so they could serve more people in their respective ways and have everyone win. I am known as a business bio expert, and I have noticed through trial and error and experience that experts who lead tribes around getting their books done are really wonderful partners for me, because there's so many people that want to write books, and every single one of them needs a bio that's going to be client attracting, that's going to open doors to the right opportunities, and not everyone who's a get your book done expert knows how to write a bio that attracts clients. So I have real value to add to those communities. What I would ask y'all to think about is, who could you logically partner with where there's value to add, where everyone wins in the process? You'll find some great creative thinking that can actually take you to the right promised land for everyone involved. Well, why are joint ventures so valuable? I think the big idea here is leverage, the power of leverage, reaching more people with greater ease, speed, and impact. What are some additional reasons to joint venture? I heard someone say that cold calling is best left in the freezer. Most people don't like to cold call. Most people like to speak to people that are warm leads, or even better, leads that are warmed up tremendously because of the power of advocacy. So if you have a partner who thinks the world of you and your work, and they tell their entire tribe that they know you, like you, trust you, and have used your products and services, and that's why they can proudly advocate for what you're offering to their entire community, that is as hot as it gets. They have pretty much swung the door wide open for more of the right people to say, if Mary says she's the one to provide the solution to that, I'm going to go there first. Partners that offer something that's a value add to what you offer can help make your offer even more complete and irresistible. A win for your partner, their clients, and then for you. That is the right order. So often, people approach joint venture partners with the idea that the win should first be for them. And I would venture to say that the more you can focus on creating a win for your partner first, their clients, and then for you, the greater the likelihood you're going to have a relationship that takes root to grow in a winning way right out of the gate. When you're ready with your best first impression with the right bio, what you have to offer, that's a huge head turner for your expert positioning. If someone asks you to be part of their telesummit and you're able to say, I would be delighted to contribute to that, and I'm so ready for you, before the phone hits the cradle, you'll have my photo, my bio, and the topic I want to talk about, and the 5 questions that you can ask me to make this a fabulous conversation. When you do that, all of a sudden you are the guest they wish they had called 3 years ago, because everyone else has been driving them crazy not being ready. The more ready you are for these kinds of opportunities, the more heads you turn, the more likely it is that you can invite the media to take an interest in your message, and that you can be a sought-after service provider too. Your visibility as a joint venture partner makes it so much easier for people to find you, refer you, and hire you, and get in touch to explore joint ventures too. So many wonderful reasons to joint venture. So when you're ready, what happens is that you are so confident and so clear and so attractive. Like my client Jen Mueller, America's expert talker. She does color commentary for the Seattle Seahawks. She says to me, people are attracted to my story and to me. I'm proud of my bio, and I'll tell you a secret. When I need a little confidence boost, I go back and I read it. Nancy helped me find words in an inner confidence that I couldn't get to on my own. The overall result is that I feel like I can play big. So being ready counts for a lot. So now what I'd like to talk about is the 3 biggest blunders, so that you can get them in your heart, your head, and your bones and never make them. The number 3 biggest blunder is leading first with your need. Leading with your need is the wrong thing to do, especially if you're newer in your journey, you don't yet have proven programs, products that have got a fabulous track record, and you're trying to make a big impact. What I want you to do instead is come to a partner first with your agenda, without thinking about the win. The mistake that people make is thinking about themselves without thinking about how the partner will win. I want you to turn that around. Tune into your partner's favorite radio station first. It's always best to see, hear, and celebrate others before serving yourself. Serve others, support their success, and then profit, in that order. It's very, very powerful. When you say to someone, how can I serve you? How can I help you? How can I support your success? All of a sudden, all points are on alert, and there's a reception to hearing your message. I want you to lead with their need instead. How can I support you? What do you need? How can I help? Because when you do that, all of a sudden, they can't wait to share. And if you're in a position to help them and you actually turn results around to their advantage, bottom line or otherwise, all of a sudden there's much more receptivity for them to want to return the favor at some later point in the future. True confessions from the trenches. I haven't always been a rock star JV partner, not by a long shot. Maybe in your situation you haven't yet created and found a paying audience for your own programs. I want you to start the joint venture journey by supporting others first. In doing so, you can wow your partners with your support, and they will be happy to return the favor when you're ready. This gives you more time to grow your list, your influence, and your impact, and get proof of your own winning offers and make money while you do. I'll tell you, this is exactly the way I did it. I remember being invited to a very powerful joint venture summit of leading experts in the world, and I'm sitting around the table hearing them talk about their highly leveraged programs and their very rich commissions and what it is that appealed to them and what compelled them to want to joint venture with others. And as I heard them have this conversation, I kind of went to a small place and felt to myself, I'm not ready for that. I don't think I have big enough programs that will turn their head. But what do I have? What I did have and what I do have is a powerful advocacy, powerful credibility, a list that I love and care for and nurture. And I just knew that if I could support others first and deliver big results that they could feel in their shopping cart, in their opt-in subscribers, and so on, that I would turn their heads so that when the time came for me to share with them what programs I had to offer that would be reciprocally valuable, they would listen to me. And that is exactly what has happened. So it's really great advice if you're just getting started. Serve others first. Prove the value and the impact. Make your difference, and it will all come back to you in good time. You just need to be a long-distance runner and have that mindset right from the start. What is blunder number 2? It's arranging bad marriages from the beginning. I want you to really think carefully about who it is that you want to partner with. Some of the things you might take a look at are the image, the values, and approach that they take and that you notice as they show up online or in person. Suzanne Evans wrote a book recently called The Way You Do Anything is the Way You Do Everything, and I believe she's absolutely right. Take a look at the potential partner's reputation. Do you know, like, and trust them? Are these people that you would want to have coffee with? Are these people where you have something to offer that is truly a value add that would make a difference? Is the fit right? You can do a quick internet search to learn volumes about a potential partner. Either it's a yes, 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 or it's a no. Your press releases, your media interviews, and other credible, visible proof tell a powerful story and set you up to succeed even before you speak your first word. And this is another little ninja tip. Long before I had a huge list, or a list as large as it has grown, I used base hit strategies like publicity to get known for my expertise. And if anyone were to Google my name and find out who I am and what I do and who I serve and how I help, press releases that I put out to the media and interviews that I did put out a message about who I am and how I help and an overall image of me that I was very, very proud of. So even though I might not have had the big, huge list and the influence and maybe no one knew my name, they could get enough information about me to say they'd be willing to take a risk with me because I'm such a quote-unquote rock star on the internet. if you don't yet have all of that influence, you can build a lot of it on your own through the power of publicity, press releases, and so on. That's why showing up big is especially important early in the journey, because people can find out anything in a Google search, and if they're going to be looking up you, what will they find? Will they find that you're a slow runner of 10K races, or will they find that you have claimed your expertise and are making a name for yourself on your own? I want you to play big right out of the starting gate, because it will serve you long term. In terms of identifying the right fit for you, I want you to know that success leaves clues. And I know this is going to sound kind of funny, but if she wears a bikini and you wear a suit, that's something to notice. If he swears from the stage and you don't, notice that too. She forgets to pay her partners on time and you're always Johnny on the spot with your check. You really like her, but him not so much. And this is true from my own life. I was co-teaching a program with someone who was a total rock star, but I forgot to notice how the person provided feedback to clients about their best effort drafts. And one time we were teaching a course together, and people are very proprietary and have a lot of authorship and pride about their bios. And someone read their bio live on a call, and the person said, "The baby's ugly. You have to start over. That's never going to work," without even attending to the fact that that was going to be offensive to the person who had worked so hard. I had to dismantle that partnership because the personal styles were so misaligned. So what I want you to pay attention to is not so much, yes, you want to notice how big of an influence that person has and how big their list might be and what you see when you do an internet search. But I also want you to pay attention to whether or not the fit is right. I want you to have a hand and glove, peanut butter and jelly, cheese and crackers kind of match, because if it doesn't feel like a yes, 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 it has to be a no, because your brand, your reputation, everything that you stand for and about is at the hands of someone else who could either add to it or take away from it, and adding to it is the only option in my estimation. I don't know if many of you are dating these days, but Steve Harvey wrote this book. He's a humorist, and it was, I think the title was Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. And he said the way to snag a partner, men want to provide, protect, and profess their love for their partner. And for you who are growing a list and growing your influence, you want to provide for, protect, and profess your love for those who are following you, and only introduce people to your community that you love, know, like, trust, and would happily share a meal with. Because if it's not a fit, you must not commit. And that is what I have to say about that. The biggest blunder, number one, joint ventures, is not being ready. I see this over and over and over again. I want to invite you to get proof of your concept first before reaching out to a partner. Don't expect a power partner to be the holy grail that's going to part the Red Sea and bring a boatload of clients to your door. I want you to make sure that your product, program, or offering is already selling beautifully to rave reviews to your own community, so that you can actually stand in and on that and say that every single person you've worked with has loved your program, product, or offering, and that if you had a choice, you would pay 3 times the price of what your clients are investing. You feel that confident in it. Because if you don't have proof of concepts first, no mailing from a partner is going to save you. You have to take responsibility and save yourself first. I want you to build your influence so you have value to offer to a potential partner. There's so much talk today about list building. I've got to build a list. I've got to build a list. And yes, you do, because your list is a tremendous asset. I remember hearing someone say that if you had 10,000 people on your list, that could easily equate to $10,000 a month in income. And in my experience, that is absolutely true. But it takes a while to grow there. And so I want you to put your stake in the sand and say, I want to grow my list to 1,000 opt-in subscribers as soon as possible. Because when you have 1,000 opt-in subscribers, you can start making some real noise and encouraging people to listen to you, and it won't be long before you have 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 or more subscribers, and all of a sudden the world will be beating a path to your door because of the influence you have wielded through the power of your service and contribution to your tribe. The get known to get paid landscape is new territory for a lot of people, and you don't have a map, so you don't even know how to get ready. So let me share some humble beginnings and anecdotes from my own journey that will hopefully turn your head and get you to thinking that you can do this too. Remember, I started the call and I said that when I first heard the word joint venture, it sounded like Greek to me, and it's true. I was a publicist, and what publicists do is they stand behind powerful people and they share the timely, newsworthy, relevant information in a global way so more people can appreciate what's trendworthy or relevant or interesting about what's happening right now. Well, that was my expertise, publicity. And I decided that was, as my very first information product, I was going to create 147 powerful ways to profit from free publicity. This was in 2006. Well, here's what I did. This is a very humble beginning. Joan Stewart, the publicity hound, is a competitor, someone who had considered a mentor, and someone whose newsletter that I'd been subscribing to for many years had made a big difference on my life. And I put my tips booklets in an envelope with a handwritten note, and I said, Joan, I just want you to know I've been on your list for many years, and your work has had a tremendous influence on me. I've created these publicity tips booklets, and I wanted you to know that I recommend you as a recommended resource in the back. I hope you enjoy them. Thanks for the inspiration. Yours very truly, Nancy Juetten. I just thought it was the nice thing to do to let her know that I had advocated for her in the back of my booklet. So it couldn't have been a couple days later, and I get a telephone call from Joan Stewart, who I had never, ever spoken to in my life. And she says, Joan Stewart here. I want to speak to Nancy Juetten. And I could feel my heart beating out of my chest. I was scared to death. I thought, oh, my gosh, Joan Stewart's calling. It was like, oh, my gosh. So she says to me, are you Nancy Juetten? And I said, yes. And these were her words exactly. She said, damn good tips booklets. Wish I'd written them myself. And then she says, do you have an affiliate program? And it was like a conversation bubble in a cartoon where it was just sort of hanging there in the middle of the air. And I just had to confess. I said, I don't know. What's an affiliate program? And she said, well, figure it out and activate it and let me know, and I'll happily advocate for you to my list. These tips booklets are fabulous. So I hang up the phone, and I can feel my heart beating out of my chest, and I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, opportunity just knocked, and I wasn't ready. So I called my webmaster, and I said, do I have an affiliate program? He says, yes. He says, it's in one shopping cart. We just need to activate it. What kind of commission do you want to pay? And Joan said I should be generous, so I set up, 30% at that time. And he says, okay, your affiliate program's all set up. So I wrote to Joan, or I called her, and I said, well, my affiliate program is all set up, and I'd be honored if you would be my first affiliate. So she said, great. And then it wasn't a couple weeks later that she put in her newsletter, which at the time I think had 20,000 subscribers. She said, these are the best tips booklets I've ever read. Wish I had written them. You should check them out. And remember, this was my first information product. It was only $10 for the set. It was not a big deal. But you could have knocked me over with the feather when you saw my online shopping cart. You have an order. You have an order. You have an order. Joan Stewart, the publicity hound, put me on the map by lifting me up as I was climbing forward. And we are still amazingly good friends and colleagues today. And I'm so grateful because the quality showed, and she saw the potential, and she did me a very fine kindness. And I'm just telling you, that was a very humble beginning that put me on the map. So if you have something special to offer that adds value, that someone who is a competitor of yours would appreciate, why not share it with them and see what win-win ways you can contribute and collaborate to serve people in a more deeper way. That's what happened for me. Here's another humble beginning I hope inspires you. This was the year 2008, and PR Secrets founder Susan Harrell, whose newsletter I had been subscribing to, announced that she was doing a mega sale during which she was going to be bringing together some of the leading do-it-yourself publicity experts around the world to offer all of their publicity products at an extremely affordable price so people across Main Street USA could access this information without blowing a budget. And when I saw that in my newsletter that came into my inbox, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I would give my eye teeth to be part of something like that. That would be so perfect for me. So what did I do? I thought to myself, how can I support this? How can I make this more successful? So what I did is I reached out to Susan, and I believe I wrote her an email. And I told her, and you can do this too with your leading competitors. You've been a big fan. I said you've been a big fan of her work for years and years, had learned so much from the information she so generously and routinely shared, and that I was particularly impressed with the special sale that she had coming up. Would it be welcome for me to support it to my list? And she said, well, how big is your list? And I think it was like 1,000. It wasn't a great big list at all. And she said, well, I'd be happy to have you support it. And so then I said, kind of as an oh, by the way, I said, you know, Susan, I've created a do-it-yourself publicity kit that's really powerful, and Joan Stewart says that the tips booklets are so powerful she wished she had written them herself. If one of the big names that you've invited to play decides to fall off the end of the earth or doesn't make good on their commitments and you need somebody to fill in the missing piece, would you consider including my bundle in your sale? It would mean the world to me, and I know people would appreciate it. I made a very big, bold ask in a winning way, and she was so gracious. And she said, you know what, Nancy, why don't you ship it to me and I'll take a look at it and see if it meets my high-quality standards, and I'll let you know. So what I did is I put a beautiful gift box together with ribbons and bows, and I Federal Expressed it with a handwritten note and shipped it off to her. And a couple of days later, she said to me by telephone call, I don't care if one of the big fish falls off the end of the earth. This package is fabulous. I am proud to include it in the bundle, and I'll happily support you. And that was that. So here's the thing, the most powerful thing that I want you to hear. There were many big fish playing in that joint venture, all who had lists that were exponentially greater than mine. And when the promotion was over, she called me, and she said, on a percentage basis, your list performed better than any of the other partners who participated in this sale. You are up to big things. I'm so glad that we met. And we've been friends ever since. So it all started with such humble beginnings. Here's another idea that you can apply to your own advantage. Sometimes we're experts in our own area, but we're not experts in everything. Who do you know that has an expertise that could contribute to a bigger package beyond what your current expertise will support? I'm colleagues with Dan Janelle of PR Leads, Tommy Wolf, the startup expert, and information product expert, Tom Buford. And I wanted to create a Get Known to Get Paid success program that would give people access to expert advice to learn how they can get known to get paid in all of the various ways that are so powerful. And I know enough about these areas to be more than slightly dangerous, but I thought, how could I add even deeper value to my community? The bigger question, how can you offer even deeper value to your community? So I reached out to Dan Janelle and Tommy Wolf and Tom Buford, and I said to them, could I interview you for a specific product that I'm creating where you could be put in the spotlight as the expert on press release distribution, creating a six-figure business fast with a powerful niche, and information product expertise and joint venture expertise? And they all said yes. So by working together, we were able to bring us all forward to a deeper solution to serve our clients. And I was able to create a most beautiful package that had a deeper value that clients were happy to invest into to get the benefit. So my question to you is, you know, maybe you're a permission to charge mentor and you help people get beyond their fee uncomfortability. Where can you offer that expertise to another organization that needs that, where there's a more complete solution provided and everyone wins? So how can you identify and create perfect partnerships? Well, here's 3 ways. As you've already seen and I've demonstrated, make friends with your best competitors. Notice the people who are already in your circle and see where there's a natural fit. You can also consider what people are buying before, during, and after they buy with you. I'll make this real. Let's just say you're getting married. Well, someone just bought an engagement ring, and that means that so shortly after the engagement ring, somebody's going to be buying a wedding dress, and some couple is going to be looking around for wedding venues and bakeries for cakes and bridesmaids' dresses and all of these kinds of things. Whatever it is that's on the life cycle of that particular occasion, everyone along the path is a potential joint venture for you. The wedding dress, the fitness expert, getting the person into bridal shape. Think about what people were buying before, during, and after they purchase with you. And I think one of the best strategies in my experience is what I call jewels in the crown networking. I want you to attend relevant business events where business owners invest to be in the room. Because where people invest to be in the room is where there are potential buyers that are serious about investing in their success. You can join a high-level mastermind and be among kings and queens who are serious about growing their success and supporting the success of others. When you go to live events, you can notice who's on stage, and you can make a new friend over a meal. I know that was my situation with Tom Buford. He was attending as a speaker the Big Shift Experience brought to you by Bill Barron Coaching. And he spoke about information product marketing. And I just loved his style, his presentation, his overall approach. And I thought, if there's 400 people in the room, that's the one guy I want to have lunch with. So I found the courage to compliment him on his fabulous presentation, and I invited him to share lunch with me. And he was so happy to accept. And that's how our friendship took root to grow, and that's why we decided to join venture, and why we're still colleagues and friends today who are sharing referrals and leads and opportunities and helping each other solve our problems. So get out from behind your computer and into events where the right people are going to be in the room, and show up like a rock star, well-presented, well-dressed, articulate, ready to connect with people. Even if you're a little bit introverted, as I am, when I go to a live event, I try to just summon up the courage to be totally present and hope and know that I'm going to find jewels in the crown to add to my community that will stay there for a lifetime. So what are some of my ninja success tips? How do I win these big launches? I use press releases to differentiate myself, because what happens with big, huge launches with joint ventures is that everybody's emailing multiple times to the same communities where everybody seems to be subscribing. And sometimes everybody's calling that event by name, but is everyone paying attention? So I like to use press releases at the start and the end of partner launches to zig while others zag, because I can reach the whole world with a press release that could land on Yahoo or Business Week or Reuters or some other influential media outlet that has the social proof and the credibility around it to set itself apart from every other solo email in an inbox. I can reach people beyond those we already know, and I can add a layer of credibility and impact beyond the solo emails that are already being sent, that are clearly the most effective way to get people's attention and action. When you do press releases during launches, you and your partner will look big, even if your list may be small. And it's another of what I call the lift as we climb strategies. You know, sometimes, I know in the most recent past, Callan Rush had me promote their Magnetize Your Audience program, and Christian Michelson, I was happily promoting his Free Sessions with Sell program. But because in both cases I was going to be offering a powerful bonus to reward people who said yes at my invitation, I was able to put my name and Christian's name in the same headline and turn a lot of heads and ultimately land in the top 5 of both of those launches. And that really did enhance my own expert positioning. So that's a little ninja tip you might want to keep in mind. When I do press releases, I don't just send write a press release and post it on Facebook. I use PR Newswire to distribute it, because I get between 100 and 300 media placements around the globe that really add that layer of wow to the information that helps create the action. And when there's a place for folks to learn more, the link that is highlighted oh, by the way, happens to be my unique affiliate link, it does tend to add some value and some results that are uncontroverted. Here's an example of how a press release paid off for executive leadership consultant Sara Harvey. You probably know that the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl. It was a fairly epic event here in the Great Northwest not long ago. And what Sara noticed is that the coaching staff was talking about the power of being present on the field as being an important game changer and why the victory was so sweet. So since she wrote a book called Get Present, Simple Strategies to Get Out of Your Head and Lead More Powerfully, we wrote a press release about how being present creates champions on the field and in the executive suite. And we sent it over PR Newswire on February 10th. Just shy of 300 media outlets picked up her news, including CNBC and Yahoo. She then shared the coverage with her client, and she got booked for 2 paid speaking engagements immediately. And within days, she was invited to offer a guest blog post for a prestigious and targeted publication, and of course, she said yes. Another of my clients, Elizabeth Venturini of collegeandcareerresults.com, was starting a brand new business, and she said, I transformed from 0 online presence to #1 placement on Google search for college career strategist in 1 year. She says, Nancy's the ultimate rock star maker. So for those of you who are just getting started and you don't have a big list and you don't have a big reputation, and when people Google your name, you're still the long-distance runner that maybe runs kind of slowly like I did, you can take control of your visibility through press releases and stories and articles and blog posts. These are the great base hits in the get known to get paid baseball game. And the joint venture is the home run every time. So how can you narrow your focus to make big impact right out of the gate? I heard Mari Smith, the social media strategist, ask this question. She said, who's in your Hollywood squares? And it just hit me squarely between the eyes. Maybe you're old enough to remember this game show where there was Charles Nelson Riley in the center of the game box or the tic-tac-toe board, and he had 1 degree of separation between 8 other celebrities. And there's something about this just landed so squarely for me. Imagine there's a tic-tac-toe board and you're in the middle, and there's 8 degrees of separation between you and the people that you most want to partner with. Who are your Hollywood squares? For me, I've been very specific and deliberate about choosing who would be best for me, where I had value to add, the combination would be greater, the service to the tribe would be greater, and the results would be better for all. So in my case, get your book done tribal leaders, information product creation experts, publicity service providers to smart entrepreneurs in early stages of growth, how to fill your events with ease tribe leaders, and experts in client attraction who lead big tribes. These are all the kinds of people who would be perfect for my Hollywood squares. And since I've been so specific and deliberate, I've been able to avoid distractions and keep my focus on where the fit would be totally right. And that's what I'm inviting you to do. I want you to take a blank sheet of paper, create a tic-tac-toe board, and ask yourself, where are your best 8 potential partners? And I want you to think big right out of the box. Go for the big fish, the whale, the one that you think will never give you the time of day, and make an approach if you're feeling truly confident, because you just never know what might happen. I'll tell you something, that was kind of what happened to me. I knew that Christian Michelson, the Coaches with Clients expert, would be a perfect partner for me. Everyone that I knew spoke so highly of him. He was truly a big fish in a very powerful ocean. I reached out to him. I joined his newsletter. I followed him on Facebook. I did all the normal things. I couldn't get his attention. But you know how I've been saying you need to lift as you climb, lift as you climb? Well, this was a true story. There was someone that I had come into contact with who was writing a book and wanted to learn how to build the buzz about the book. And she was a joint venture partner of mine who really wanted to learn how to do this. And so out of the goodness of my heart and out of the true spirit of generosity, serving her first, I said, can I offer you a VIP seat at the next Broadcast Your Brilliance group program that I lead, because I think you're going to get the answers to all of your questions and you're going to get empowered to make your book a bestseller, and I would really like to have that happen for you, and I'd love to support you in that. And she said, I would be so happy. Thank you so much. I don't know how I can thank you. I said, well, just learn your lessons well and take some action, and I think we'll all be better off. So I lead the course. She shows up for every program. It's all great. She learns her lessons well, has wonderful success. And so when the course is over, she says to me, I've so enjoyed this. It was such a generous above and beyond the call thing that you did. What can I do for you? And so I didn't hesitate. And I said, I don't know if you can help me with this, but there is an introduction I've been hoping to earn over a long period of time, and I'm wondering if you might help me. She says, what do you want and who do you want to meet? And I said, I'd love to be introduced warmly to Christian Michelson to see if there might be a way for us to be partners. She said, you're kidding me. You know, I'm going to San Diego in a few weeks to be at this by invitation only JV summit. What if I recommend you? And I said, would you do that? And she said, I'd be happy to. And so she did. And then 4 or 5 other people recommended me, and they welcomed me to their table, and now Christian Michelson and I are joint venture partners, and it's just been a dream come true. I aimed high from the start. I kept my blinders on, and I found a way to be introduced. And in the intervening period while I was waiting to be introduced, I was developing my products, my programs, my list, my influence, my impact, so that when we finally met, I actually had something to offer. It's a very humble beginning, but it's a perfect example of how you can have eyes on the prize and think big from the start and actually get exactly where you want to go. So with that being said, who is in your Hollywood squares? Put yourself in the middle and dream big from the start, and ask yourself, 1 year from now, how many of the people that I most want to meet are going to be 1 degree of separation between me and them? And what magic will you be able to brew up with those people to serve more of the right people in bolder, more complete ways than you can serve them on your own? If you do this, I promise you will have very big results. Why 8 partners? Well, I don't know about you, but I get a little overwhelmed with this 100 points of light strategy. It's a lot to manage. So if you're just getting started, narrow your focus to 8 amazing partners so you can manage the overwhelm. I want you to aim high, and I want you to nurture the relationships so that they will truly be lasting relationships and not transactions. And that means you want to tell your story well and to get ready now, because you never know when opportunity is going to strike, and you want it to be a win right out of the box. So let's just sort of take a breath and recap what I've been teaching you today. Joint venturing with power partners is the single most results-generating, get known to get paid strategy to deploy to bring in big results in your business with speed and impact. Opt-ins, sales, influence, impact, and income. That's why it's so important that you get this concept ignited in your imagination so you can start taking action as soon as possible. The 3 biggest blunders are, number 3, leading with your need. Number 2, arranging bad marriages from the start. And number 1, not being ready for opportunity when it knocks. So what are the solutions? I want you to give first to others before you get, especially if you're earlier in your journey. I want you to be selective for lasting, rewarding, and profitable partnerships. And I want you to get ready first by getting known, building buzz, and creating those lasting and influential relationships with every move you make in the social, traditional, and online media with partners and beyond, because the combination makes a very powerful punch. What if you were getting checks in the mail like you see here? How much easier and more rewarding would your life be, and less stress around money matters? I want you to have what I'm having to get steeped in the know-how you need to make it so. There's so much more you can do to learn to get known, to get paid. You can learn to build big buzz. You can have control over your visibility and your destiny. You can welcome big opportunities. You can get booked solid and have a wait list of clients, joint ventures, and media opportunities calling your name. So I want you to have that knowledge. I want you to have the know-how to support a lifetime of visibility, credibility, and self-made success. That means naming and claiming your niche, saying bye-bye to your boring bio, making your press releases pay off, embracing tips and tools to get in the spotlight, and earning a reputation as a JV partner who's a rock star right out of the gate. But the problems and opportunities may be that you might be reluctant to ask for directions, which means that you could be staying stuck and that you can be frustrated not knowing where you're going. So I want to make it completely easy for you. I want you to get known and get paid with help from me without spending a penny, because the Get Ready, Get Known, Get Paid workbook is waiting for you right now. You can go to authenticvisibility.com/DP for DirectPay, and you can access your own copy of the Get Ready, Get Known, Get Paid workbook, which will make it easy for you to prepare your story, broadcast your brilliance, and prosper now using some of the ninja strategies that I talked about today about publicity and press releases. You're going to learn how to pitch an article the media can't resist so you can become a published author in the print media that matter most for your message. You'll be equipped and prepared to get seen, heard, celebrated in the media in your own backyard and beyond so you can be compensated for your expert status. And you'll gain access to useful and mostly free resources so you can learn even more. The best thing about taking action on this $197 gift that is yours, my gift to you, is that you will no longer be a well-kept secret provided you act on what you learn. Folks who have used it have said things like, Nancy's the guru to go to for getting known. Her outstanding workbook is what every business owner has been waiting for. Someone says, Couples in Trouble relationship coach Dr. Jackie Black says, I'm double wowed by your workbook. That puppy is value on steroids. I'm inspired to create something that's massively valuable for my prospects. You're an awesome role model and mentor. I have a second gift for you, and this one's even especially juicy. It is the Breaking the JV Code Special Report, the 12 Reasons Joint Venture Partners Will Never Promote You. These are revealing truths to support your lasting success, provided by joint venture partners of mine, Rich German and Milana Lashinsky, who are co-founders of the JV Insider Circle. You can visit authenticvisibility.com/JV Code, and you will access their report that talks about these 12 reasons that you can sidestep so that people will say yes to you out of the gate instead of no. Wouldn't it be great to start your joint venture journey with the right information so that you don't trip? Both of these gifts are yours absolutely free for being here today to learn about these JV blunders. And I hope that you will access them to your expert and bottom line advantage and your lasting success. I know that Rich and Milana have both created million-dollar businesses over the last several years, coaching millions and making millions, and doing so largely using joint venture strategies as their leading marketing approach. And that's why I know you will benefit from their gift. So I want to just state those URLs to make it absolutely crystal clear. authenticvisibility.com/DP for the Get Ready, Get Known, Get Paid workbook, and authenticvisibility.com/JV Code for the Breaking the JV Code special report offering 12 reasons joint venture partners will never promote you, revealing truths to support your lasting success. So folks ask me all the time, what are my favorite get known to get paid strategies and why? And I will tell you what my top 5 things are, and this is another learning point for you. I always say that you should get seen, heard, celebrated, and compensated as the expert you are today, and to do so in your own best way. You have to figure out what your top 5 ways are. In my case, joint ventures, number 1. Speaking by teleseminar, webinar, and live is number 2. Number 3 is my newsletter, has powerful influence. Number 4 is the power of publicity. And the fifth one, gosh, it's just escaping me for the moment. Isn't that funny? But you have to figure out what your top 5 are. And in terms of how have I earned top 5 and top 10 positions on big joint venture leaderboards, how have I done it? I do it every time. I do it, I'm going to be really honest with you. I think credibility is my secret sauce. I never promote anything I wouldn't or haven't already bought myself, and know in my heart and my head and my gut is of true value and service to the people I am lucky enough to lead. Credibility is my secret sauce, and I have a huge heart, and when people say, will you be all in to promote me, I'm either all in or I'm all out. And when you approach joint ventures, I recommend you be the same, because you know what? When the top 20 leaders in your industry are all promoting something that you all feel strongly about, and your name is at the top of that leaderboard, what happens for you is everyone looks at those lists and says, oh, those are all the usual suspects, but they see your name and they think to themselves, who the heck is that? So this person who may have 40 or 50 or 100,000 people on their list goes looking for your name and your website, and all of a sudden they're calling your name, and that is the big benefit. Because if you're here to do a bigger difference in the world and make a bigger impact in the marketplace and serve more of the people you're here to help, the best way to show up is like a winner, advancing and supporting the success of other people first. That's been my strategy all along. So credibility is my secret sauce. Being all in is my secret sauce, and being incredibly selective about promoting only those things that I know in my heart and my head and my gut that will serve my tribe, that I've used and know to be true and valuable without compromise. People ask me all the time, can you help me navigate the journey to get known and get paid without going it a moment longer? Absolutely. I have a variety of ways I can help you with that, and that's why I want you to first take a look at the authenticvisibility.com/DP gift, because you'll get a really delicious taste of the quality that I put forth in service to your success. And if you want to talk to me more about how I can help you, there's lots of juicy, delicious, budget-appropriate ways for you to get a compelling result at a value that feels great to you. Why me? I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and I have the cover stories and the success and the JV leaderboard track record to prove it. So again, I have 2 gifts for you. authenticvisibility.com/DP for the Get Ready, Get Known, Get Paid workbook. And the second one is authenticvisibility.com/JV code for the Breaking the JV Code special report, Top 12 Reasons Joint Venture Partners Will Never Promote You. I hope that as a result of our time today, you have learned the 3 biggest blunders to avoid so that you can get out of the gate as a winner, as a joint venture partner, and start making the success flow as soon as possible. And it's been my pleasure to have this opportunity to share this information with you. And Carol, if there are folks that would like to ask me questions, I'm more than happy to address them. And of course, if anyone wants to get in touch with me directly, Nancy@authenticvisibility.com is my email address, and I'm happy to correspond with people in that way too.
Thank you, Nancy. And I have put those 2 URLs up on the chat board so people can connect directly because they are hyperlinked. And I also have one person who's been very patiently waiting. She put her hand up, Asha Tyson. Asha, I'm just going to open up your mic and see if you can ask your question from Nancy. 1 second. Asha, are you there?
I am here. Well, now here's what's amazing. There is something weird about my hand raise mechanism. It always looks like I'm trying to ask a question, and I can't keep that hand down. So I didn't actually have it up. But Nancy, I do want to say to you, you are just the bomb. I don't know any other words. You really are the bomb, and you truly mimic exactly what goes on in my head, and I'm never able to articulate that fully. So thank you for the confirmation, the affirmation, and I'm just loving you, girl.
Well, you've made my day. That's just, I couldn't have asked for a better sassy soundbite than that one. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Asha. That was just wonderful.
You are so welcome.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Nancy, I think that Asha spoke for all of us. This was just a wonderful, wonderful webinar. I took 3 or 4 pages of notes. I'm definitely going to go over and check in on your free gift, and it just spoke to really what we can do to make a difference in our circle with our tribe so powerfully. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. I'm sure that people are going to get a tremendous amount out of it, and we are so grateful to you. So thank you for everyone who has listened. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I always say to folks, it's your story. Tell it well. Start today because the world is waiting. And if I can be of help to you in any of the ways that we've spoken about today or beyond, it would be my pleasure to be in relationship with you to have rewarding, profitable, win-win-win outcomes, one and all, because anything less than that just simply isn't good enough.
Oh, good. And if we can, we'll just squeeze in one more question. Belinda has her hand raised, so I'm just going to let her speak as well. Thank you to everyone else who may not be able to stay after the hour. We'll see if we can answer a few more questions. One moment. Belinda, I've opened your mic. Go ahead.
I was just wondering, how do I have a client.
You'll have to speak up just a little.
Okay. I just recently took on a new client, and this is my first client with this business coach, and I am really struggling to get him on target. He seems to want me to run the business, and I can't seem to get him to understand that he's accountable and he needs to run the business himself. So I'm just there to coach him through that.
Well, I heard a sassy soundbite from someone I know, like, and trust quite a bit, Bill Barron of Bill Barron Coaching. He used to say, I'm the door, you're the doer. Your name's on the door, you've got to make it happen. And I think he's absolutely right. You're not responsible. His name's on the door. You can give him advice, guidance, put your foot to the fire, apply foot to butt to inspire action, but he's ultimately accountable. His name's on the door. You can't take that on. He has to, or else the business isn't likely to survive. Do you agree?
I agree. I absolutely agree. It's been a real challenge because he started a business with entrepreneurs in one location. And so he has hired me to as his coach, but also to coach the people that are entrepreneurs, which is very interesting. So we set up a 90-day challenge for accountability and goal setting. However, he seems to think that I'm supposed to, through me coaching him, that I'm responsible for him meeting those goals when that's not what I'm there for. Does that make sense?
It totally does, and I think you just have to hold a mirror up to him and say, you know, you've agreed to take these actions to achieve these specific, terrific outcomes, and what specifically are you going to do to make that so? And I'm here to hold your feet to the fire, but it's not your battle to wage. It's his battle to wage and win. And either he wants to win it or he doesn't. But you're not. You can't hold that. That's not realistic. I don't know how that relates to the JV thing. Do you want to try to make that connection for me?
Oh no, that's fine. It was just the authentic visibility part is where it comes in, where you want to be. I want to be authentic with him in this co-creative relationship, but I also want to just let him know that this is important. That as an entrepreneur, he may have hired me as his coach to do that for other entrepreneurs, but just because he's paying me to do that to coach doesn't mean that I'm supposed to meet his goals. I mean, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but does it mean that I'm...
Well, you're the door, he's the door,
yeah.
You're the door, he's the doer, and let's be clear. Let's be clear about that, because otherwise it's a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. So those are those boundaries I've had to continually go over with him for accountability.
Well, sounds to me like you just have to keep on saying it in different ways so you can actually have him hear it.
Okay.
And appreciate it, because unless people take it, action is the great equalizer, and if he's not taking the action, nothing will happen. And that does relate to JVs. People say, I want to joint venture with so-and-so, or I want to meet somebody in a position of influence or power, or I want to get an audience with someone who has the opportunity to change the game. But if you are not ready to make the pitch and to support your pitch with the relevant facts, information, and results, you fall flat and nothing happens. So the readiness piece to take that action and to make it so and to prove the value and the impact, it has to be in place. So make it so. That's my invitation to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Whew.
Thank you, Nancy. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, I don't see any other hands raised, so I think we've accomplished what we needed to today. Nancy, thank you again so much for your expertise and your wisdom and your wit. And I look forward to hearing feedback from everyone, and I hope it's all been very good for you as well.
And I so appreciate it. And if folks want to connect with me again, it's Nancy at authenticvisibility.com, and you can also find me at Facebook at facebook.com/Nancy Juetten. If you have a warm word to share about the webinar, it's always good to get that psychic compensation. But more than anything, I want you to go get these 2 gifts because they will serve you powerfully, and when used in combination, you will be unstoppable. So thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.